We had actual freaking fracking football last night. But on top of that, ooh, it was good. It was good football. It was a good game. And of course, the Detroit Lions came out and they beat the reigning, defending
Guillermo
Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. And listen, I know that there's going to be some damage control going on today. There's going to be two things that are going to happen today, Perna. One, there's going to be I knew the Lions were going to be good. There's going to be
a lot of fake knowers out there.
There's a lot of oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. One. Two, there's going to be they had Travis Kelce was out and Chris Jones was out and all this stuff.
Chris Jones was there.
Here's what I'm going to say. I don't think the Chiefs are going to suck this year. I don't.
No, come on.
But here's what I'm going to say is that this is something that has been building for years with the Detroit Lions. As soon as they started going, when Penei Sewell fell to them when the Bengals didn't draft him, I was like, damn, that's a really good pick. And they have been hitting on these drafts. Aiden Hutchinson looked like a stud last night. He was constantly in the
Imagine how good Aiden Hutchinson's going to look when he's not going up against a lineman who's allowed to cheat every play.
Dude, trust me, we're going to talk about that. But the point is like, regardless of injury, regardless of anything, what the Lions did is they went in to Arrowhead, they beat the opponent in front of them, which is the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, which is not an easy thing to do in Arrowhead week 1. So no, I don't care about injury. Like, that's impressive. You can't take that away from the Lions. That's impressive as well.
It's actually, it's like the Lions and the Bengals shaking hands as like the only teams who can go into Arrowhead and like win. I don't think either team played to their potential in that game. Okay. And for as much attention as Kadarius Toney's getting for dropping 1 billion passes in that game, of course, one going the other way, Marvin Jones dropped 2 or 3 passes for Detroit, fumbled in the red zone.
First time.
Yeah, ever. So the Lions left points on the board as well. They don't have Jameson Williams. So, like, I think there's a chance he's essentially some weeks will be their number 1 receiver. Obviously, I think he's the number 2 guy behind Amon-Ra. So, like, I think both have a lot to be desired in their passing game. We saw just how important Travis Kelce is to their offense and keeping it running. Specifically, like when Mahomes needs a play, he's going to just catch the football. Mm-hmm. Even if it's not a big play, he'll catch it, right? So the Chiefs, as bad as all those receivers looked, I don't think that's going to continue every week. All of those guys are not going to drop all of those passes. Mm-hmm. We've seen Kadarius Toney play well. So, like, I want to be like one of the people saying, oh no, the Chiefs are doomed. The Chiefs are doomed. I think a lot of those guys will play better. You saw Mahomes give them all opportunities in clutch situations. So, like, that's fine. And then, of course, Chris Jones will return at some point, and their defense will be better because of it. But Jahmyr Gibbs only had like 7 carries, and he just looked very, very good. And I think come like week 4 and they trust him more in pass pro and he gets a little more involved in the offense, like, that's going to be a big boost for Detroit as well. But damn, that game it was a close game.
Like, let's be very honest. Like, that was a very impressive win for the Detroit Lions, who I think shut up a lot of people last night. And like, yeah, their organization should be super. Listen, I'm a Packers fan, right? Lions been kicking our ass for the past 2 seasons. I even am like, it's hard to be like, damn, good for them. Like, listen, when they play the Packers, I hope they get stomped into the ground. But like last night, I'm like, that's a huge win for the franchise, for the fans, for the organization. Like, Ford Field next week for their like home opener in Detroit is going to be insane. Don't worry, we'll talk about Brian Branch because you know what? Let's talk about Brian Branch.
The Brian Olive Branch.
Okay, Brian Branch. I really wanted the Packers to draft him. I know that they wouldn't. His RAS score was a bit low, but he's good in run defense. He looked really good. RAS score?
His Riz score?
Nope. Sorry, ZZ. So anyway, so he looked good in college. He was the best safety in the draft, like the best prospect coming out. And I was like, yeah, I would really like it. The Packers traded out of the position that the Lions wound up drafting him, and we got like a 5th round in return. And Brian Branch, you know how I know he's been having a good camp, Brandon? You know how I know? Because every effing time that Brian Branch does anything positive, anything, the amount of times that I get tagged on every social media platform there is, and it's just like, hey, Tom, did you see this? Oh, did you see this interception? Oh, look at this pass breakup. And I'm just like, oh, it's great. And then last night, I'm streaming, and guess who gets a pick 6? Yes, it was a gift. It was a gift, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it had to be Brian Branch. Couldn't have been anybody else. Could have been Kirby Joseph for all I cared. But no. That's
I'll tell you what I think about Mike.
Stupid.
No, this is good. This is good for the Lions. The Lions just went in. They beat the Chiefs, right? They're going to get a lot of love today. Well, guess what? Now they've got some bulletin board material to keep them motivated for at least one more week. Dan Campbell can be like, look, man, this is how Dan Campbell talks. We just beat the world champions, and they're saying we got an asterisk next to the fucking win. Let's go out there and rip whoever's kneecaps off next week. It's perfect for the Lions. You want that. You want to win, and you want somebody to doubt you, so you got more material for motivation. Easy. Lions fans, embrace that. Thank Mike Tirico, just like you should be thanking Kadarius Toney.
It's week 1. So it's not like, oh my God, this is what's going to happen for the rest of the year. It's a big win for the Lions, and the Chiefs, like they need to fix things. And so the Lions, though, like they definitely do. I want to show this clip too. This got put in the mod chat. So this is from Brad Holmes. I don't know if you saw this from last night.
Coolest GM on earth.
Like, dude, like, come on now. Like, how could you not? Like, dude, like he's pumped. He's pumped because the amount of, even last night during the game, like that fumble happens or they go 3 and out and they're like, same old Lions. Like it's just, and I'm just like, guys, like, yeah, that was such a that is one of their win against the Packers last year in week 18 was enormous. This one, like, even bigger.
It's a great win. And also, like, shout out to Lions fans for showing up at Arrowhead like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Lions fans there.
They were in Ford Field. There was a ton of Lions fans at Ford Field watching the game.
They're excited. Dude. Football is back in Detroit.
It's going to be insane. Last year, after Hard Knocks, their home opener was insane. Next week against Seattle, oh, dude, it's going to be crazy.
Oh, if they beat Seattle, if they beat the Chiefs in Seattle for me, back-to-back weeks, you thought I was on the Lions bandwagon before. Oh my God, Detroit.
Dude. I mean, listen, we've seen the fakes before. We know that Dan Campbell is willing to do whatever, but inside your own 20 is 4th down and you're playing the freaking Chiefs week 1. Like, dude, I was just like, well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
It was like both Dan Campbell and Andy Reid before the game were like, hey guys, when we get into 4th down, we're not going to give a fuck. Okay. 4th and 20, we're going for it for the Chiefs. 4th and short on our own 17, first quarter, we're going to go like going for it on 4th and short on your own 17 against any team is crazy. Doing it against the Chiefs, who are like one of the best red zone offenses on earth. I think it was like Chiefs and Lions were like the 2 best red zone offenses last year. So that's risky. And then they convert, and then they drive down the field and score on that same series. So it was just like it's a gutsy call, set a tone early, saying we're not going to get pushed around. Then they went and scored. It was just, it's like a perfect play call because it worked. Had it not, and had Detroit lost,
it would have been bad.
On the chopping block, Dan Campbell's head.